Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday night. And we're back with another Football Manager stream. Last time the unbeaten run ended. 41 games in the league without loss, and we finally gave it up. Unfortunately, Schalke did manage to beat us 1-0 with their only shot on target of the game. We also had a man sent off quite late on. There was nothing we could do to get back into it. So the unbeaten streak is over, but we're going to start again. We are going to build another one. We're still very much top of the league. We're still, we've qualified for the round of 16 in Champions League, finishing 6th or 7th in the league phase. We're still going to win some titles this year, so let's get on with it, shall we? How's everyone doing on this lovely little Thursday night? The cricket went well, or better, I should say, for England. It wasn't a bad day's cricket. I think yesterday was Australia's day. Today was England's day. I think we're in for a very interesting conclusion to this test. And look at that. We've just managed to get a new sponsorship, another £12 million. Lovely stuff. Where are you? £12 million. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That's nice money. That's money for nothing. And no, I think we are done for business. We have. Let's just have a look at a quick recap of the last streams, shall we? I think we picked up with Freiburg. We basically won every game. 2-0, 4-0, 7-2, 4-1, 2-0, 5-0. We were smashing anyone who came in front of us. And then out of nowhere, we lost against Schalke. That just threw itself in there. Football Manager doing Football Manager things. Hi Ashwin. Yes, we did lose, didn't we? Thank you for the reminder. I was trying to avoid the reality of that. It was such a good unbeaten run as well. I don't think I've had an unbeaten run in a league like that since. We're going back a few Football Managers, quite a few, and I don't think I'll do it again anytime soon. But we are still top of the Bundesliga, even if it's only just. We're now 1 point ahead of Bayern Munich after they've matched us match for match, and in fact, I think they've won all of theirs. I mean, lots of green on theirs. Their last loss to Hertha, obviously. So things a little bit tighter there, but as I say, we did qualify. It wasn't even 6th or 7th. We qualified in 8th. We scraped into the round of 16, but hopefully it means that we avoid some of those really tricky ties. I mean, PSG and Man United are in there, as are Man City. Wow. Okay, Real Madrid finished 21st. Okay, there's some big clubs that we are going. One of these, we're going to play one of them. Certain of it. PSG, Man United, Real Madrid. We are definitely getting one of those in the round of 16. I'm convinced of it already. But tonight we are focused on the league for a while. Hopefully that one loss doesn't turn into 2, 3, 4. I mean, we all know how it goes. This could be the start of that awful run of form that ends up seeing us drop down to 3rd, 4th, 5th, something like that. Hope not, but you know how it goes. Anyone who's played Football Manager knows that there's always a month in the season where your form just falls apart. I was kind of hoping that was December when we drew one and we lost one, but I don't know. Losing against Schalke, that feels like one that could start a. I mean, even the game's even trying to warn me about it. At the end of last stream, we had a news item that said I face an inquest as fans expect me to, face questions about the performance amid concerns that the unlikely defeat could set off a run of bad form. So the fans just expect that everything's now going to fall apart. The game is telling me, it is warning me that we are now going into a bad run of form. So let's hope we can buck that. But here we go. Let's get on to Gladbach, who are 18th this season after finishing in the Europa League spots last season. Now bottom of the league after what? 19 games. I mean, they've got a couple of games in hand, but it doesn't look like they're winning them. Last season, I'm sure they were fifth. They were in the Europa League this year, so I think that means that they had to have finished fifth. Although the German Cup winner could change things. And there we go. Look, fifth. They finished above. They finished above Dortmund last year, and this year they are rock bottom of the league. So we're at home as well, I believe. Yep. So yeah, it definitely feels like this is one that we're going to lose. This is how it works. No, we are not doing any more business at all in the transfer window. We have no money left. And Gladbach, look, one of the biggest spenders, one of the highest spenders, are obviously throwing everything at staying up this season. So Ashwin, how's Final Fantasy going? Have you played any at all today? Because you're off for a few days now, aren't you? Yeah, go on. Do you reckon you're near the end of the game? You better sleep earlier. But when you got time off, why not? 3% off. Wow. Okay, so tonight's session will be the last. Then you reckon? And look, Gladbach have already moved off the bottom of the league, so they're in hot form. We're in poor form. We're in trouble. I just know we're in trouble. Whoop, whoop. What are the end scenes like in Final Fantasy? Do they normally do them well? You do get some games that they just end them terribly. And the one that jumps to mind for me is Mass Effect 3. Whole series with the ending, final scenes. You've cried at 15. Oh, you should be in for a good one then. Should be in for a good one. Yeah, Mass Effect 3 was atrocious. It was such a well made series, giving you the chance to genuinely shape how things work. And you could see it happening in game. You could see things like changing because of decisions you'd made right up until the end when you were just shoehorned into one of three endings and nothing that you'd done up until that point made a difference. You literally couldn't impact it. Right, we're going to take part in the deadline day, even though there's no business that we're looking to conclude. It can be a bit buggy if you don't. So, had the song "Darling Stand By Me" with an insane sad ending. Yeah, but that sounds good. You have to make sure that if you're not streaming the end of Final Fantasy, that you're at least recording it. Yeah, there's no money, so we're not even talking about it. Who on earth is Arsen Dushanov? Dushanov? Dushanov. He's leaving. Yeah, you can be Dushanov. You're never going to be good enough. Off you go, mate. Scoops, yes. Oh, out all of the news about Alfie May. It's it's close, isn't it? I've seen a couple of people tweeting that if we pull off Alfie May coming to Priestfield, we got to be favourites for promotion, and that screams a lot. That screams loud in my ears. I've even suggested on Twitter that we need to petition for knighthood for Brad Gallinson if we manage to pull this one off. That's just incredible. I've never even ever seen the ending before. What for Mass Effect? Oh mate, don't. It was such a disappointment. We're not selling Richter or loaning him out. Leave me alone. Or Sinner, he's mine. There's scraps when you need him. Yeah, he'd bring me crashing down to earth, I'm sure. Nichols, Hawkins, May. Yeah, I mean, what a front three that would be. Even if even if you're playing two out of the three, any two of those three will do us a job. And Nichols last season, last few games at Priestfield, he was playing as pretty much as a lone forward, and his hold up play was surprisingly good for a small man. Right, where are the offers? What am I missing here? Is it these ones? There we go. Right. Um. Well, let's just say no to all of them then. You've got 4-star potential. You're staying with me, Mr. Muller. They're just missing me, the best assistant ever. Yeah, let's get you in. I don't know what Livs would feel about that, but I reckon Neil Harris would take you on, mate. Yeah, if you Scoops, if you look at Cheltenham Twitter, they're all talking about how Alfie May should be in the Championship. He should be going up a league, not down a league. So for him to come to us, I mean, that's a hell of a coup. Genuinely, Brad Gallinson should be knighted for that. Ducky, how you doing, mate? Oh no, we don't talk to journalists, go away. Similar to Paul Mullins when he left Cambridge for Wrexham, I think it's exactly the same sort of signing. Yeah, if they pay me more than my current job I'm in. Do you know, in League Two, I can't guarantee that. I don't even know what you're on, but I wouldn't guarantee we're paying more than your current job. Lord Gallinson, yeah, Kent should succeed from the United Kingdom. Lord Gallinson, first of his name. That's what we should have. Gillingham, obviously, being the capital. Don't get the Twitch usernames. No one likes Twitch ads, so it should be ad loss, not ad win. Like it, like it. If there's a bad pun, Dux is the man coming in with it. Right, no, we're still not selling Sinner. This is going to be a boring transfer deadline day, isn't it? It's just going to be me rejecting offers. Okay, go and enjoy your loan. So I know it was just the setup for a joke there, but the nickname comes from the days when he used to play five-a-side football, and yeah, I was not a bad goalkeeper actually. It tells you how long ago it was. This was Edwin van der Sar was at his prime, at his peak at Man United, and yeah, it was Edwin, Adwin. That's how it came about. There was absolutely nothing nothing else to it. We'll just merge your two names because you saved a few shots. Yeah, no, we're not talking to journalists. I don't even know why I'd give them the satisfaction of looking. And Disasi's gone already. Well, I would have kept him around for another year at Hertha. He did a job. But actually, we've got a Ruben Oliveira, so stuff Disasi. Thank you for the money. What was that? Can't we name Marcel Winkle Cartman? Do you know if I might have a points redeem thing there? Oh yeah, you need 40,000 of them. But as it's you, as you're one of my founders, you know I'm gonna let you have that. There we go, Marcel Winkle Cartman. What am I doing? That's not how you do it, you numpty. It's almost like I've never played this game before. Do we want Eric Cartman or just Cartman? I figured it was something about a South Park lookalike, but I'll take Eric Cartman. Okay, you got it. For goodness sake, Adam. There we go. I don't know how good he is. I don't know if I mean he's got a good chance of playing. He genuinely has got a good chance of eventually coming back and playing for the club. And Duck, you talking about staying up till 3 a.m. I mean, I didn't stay up anywhere near that late. I was ready to go to bed at 11. I was playing on the PlayStation with a friend of mine, playing a bit of PGA Tour, and 11 o'clock comes, and I think, oh great, off to bed. I'm exhausted. Got to be up at 5. Time to get some sleep, and that's when Ashwin steps in with his oh, by the way, editor doesn't seem to do anything. The editor doesn't work the way it should. It just randomizes in the game. You can set this amount as your budget in the editor, and it will be nothing like that when you get into the map. When you load the database. So we did that for 45 minutes or so, and I finally crawled into bed. It's about South Park, yeah, but not a look-alike. Okay. I've not watched South Park in years. I mean, I wasn't a kid, but I was in my 20s, I want to say, last time I watched it, which is depressingly a long time ago. It's at least a decade ago. And I'm talking early 20s. He's definitely not going. They can talk about Ralph Dorr leaving, but he's going nowhere. I will blockade the doors to stop him leaving. Okay, that's a no to all of them. I mean, you've got a bit about you. And I want to keep hold of you for now. You might end up being a decent squad player for us. And Dominic Muller. You are the 4-star player, aren't you? Yeah, 3.5. I'd let him go out on loan, but I'm not selling. I do not recommend watching it on stream. Okay. I'll avoid doing that then. Because Twitch people are sensitive and can't handle a joke. Right, okay. You got it. I'll I'll copy that and save that for later. Where's OneNote? There you are. Right, no, go away, journalists. We don't do journalists. Journalists can't even speak properly. Okay, it looks like we've managed to get through deadline day unscathed. You could watch it, but you've got to mute your PC audio. No, I'll hold that one for later. It'll give me something to laugh at when I finish the stream. Transfer. No, that's all rejected. Thanks very much for your interest. Similarly, goodbye. What value can we? 1.8 guaranteed. Tell you what, do that and I'll sell him. Oh. Okay, fine. Well, I guess future squad player, no more. Okay, they're being silly. And they're being silly. To be fair, he's probably. What's the date? Yeah, he's probably going to go in the summer. I just want to start a little bidding war for him. Okay, well, goodbye Burkhart then, I guess. Offer proper money. No, not selling him for that. He's not that promising. Okay, that one I need to answer. Yeah, not answering that one. Not answering that one. Let's move on. Yeah, Burkhart. 3 stars. He's not that promising. So, Dark, which save are you working on at the moment? Oh, there we go. I think we're going to get the answer to that question. Ayo Sevilla. Rijeka. RC Lons. Nice to see Milan back up there again. But no Real Madrid, no Barcelona, no. Only the 2 English clubs you kind of expect by now. What, 22-17? Well, I suppose actually there's a chance that England's no longer as dominant. That's an impressive one. No Rijeka. I like that. Sometimes when I see stuff like that, I kind of hope for a complete turnaround in the fortunes of some clubs. When you think, yeah, if you went back 100 years, the top division would look incredibly different to what it does now. You'd like to think that 100 years time, there's a good chance. Yeah, if we're all still here and football's still a thing, you'd like to think it would be a very, very different look at the top of football in England, in Europe. Europe may not even be dominant in 100 years. Who knows? It's still an FM19. Is that because that was the last one that you found you enjoyed, or are there other reasons behind FM19 being your current save or your current game, which would have not been in the UCL in 5 and a bit seasons? Well, there you go. The Spanish football, other than Sevilla, just dropped off, or is that because you've taken over as the dominant team in Spain? Come 6th mainly. Oof. Right, I don't think there's any changes we can make here. Got to keep Karim because he's homegrown in nation. Taking him out won't actually solve anything. That's it. That's it. Right, let's see if Gabri Vega gets upset again. Online. Right, that's it. That's the squad. And 21 was the last one I enjoyed. Oh, God, Vega. Come on, we had this talk 2 weeks ago. Let's just move on past it. Okay, right, looks like we're probably going to have to sell Vega. That's fine. This is my longest save I've played on and off since 19, was still the newest iteration of the game. And the fact that you're in 22-17 speaks volumes about how long you've kept that one going. I don't think I've ever got past 25 seasons. I genuinely can't remember which that one that was. That may have been FM16. All right, quarter-final draw time. Like Bayern Munich and Dortmund, the bigger teams there. I'm only really worried about Bayern Munich. I'd be quite happy with anyone else. And it is us versus, right, Munich are still in it. Frankfurt, okay. Okay, that's fine. We can win that. Oh, Ralph Dorr wants a new contract. I tell you what, my son, you are more than welcome to let's just get straight into the chat, shall we? Yep. Yeah, perfect. I'll give you that. That's fine by me. Just want to take that one out, and we're going to exclude that. I don't do minimum fee if I can get away with it. Yeah, you can have the wages. That's not a problem. I'm just not giving you a minimum fee release clause because that hurts when they go. But all playable league loaded for about 13 seasons. What does that do to your PC? I've not got a particularly high end one. Mine's fairly low spec for a gaming PC. I bought it mostly for my kids, to be honest with you, and work. So didn't want to spend that much money in it. Was in Hong Kong League the whole time before joining Sevilla. So is it just one team in Hong Kong, or have you did you jump around in the Hong Kong League until you decided to move over to Spain? And was it directly from Hong Kong to Sevilla? Because that's quite a move. I wouldn't think you'd be able to build up enough reputation in Southeast Asia before jumping over to Sevilla. Okay, 68 is the target for points. I think that's what we set last season, was 68 points. Previous to our exploits last season, yeah, 55 was the record. So we smashed that record, and who knows, we might smash it again. But first, we've got to negotiate the potential minefield of a very rough month of form. It's just FM month. It happens. Before we get into the next game, I should do a very brief recap of the last transfer window. So yeah, January transfer window, we signed 2 players. We signed Luis Silva from Caldas in Portugal, I believe. Yeah, they're a Portuguese team. 110,000. Massive potential for someone with £110,000 asking price. So it's a minimum fee release clause, I think. 5-star potential, already a decent Bundesliga player. He's 19 years old. He could progress massively for us. So brought him in as a backup to our backup, really, but he's definitely going to eventually succeed. First, Adeyemi as our backup, and then who knows, eventually may take over from Cho as our main striker. Although Cho's got a few more years in him, but by that point, hopefully, Luis Silva is ready to take over. And then on top of that, we also signed Jen Margraaf from Antwerp, activated his minimum fee release clause of 23.5 million. Another one, 5-star, 4.5-star potential, 3-star current ability, already leading Bundesliga. Can play the attacking midfield role, can play out on the right wing, can play up front, gives us cover in a number of positions, and already has a goal to his name. So I think he scored that in his debut in the cup. So he's definitely coming to push for first team action. Although ahead of him, he's got Burkholt, he's got Leth, and he's got Diamande, he's got Cho. So definitely some stiff competition in our forward areas, which is never a bad thing to have. And PC handle was saved quite well. I reckon mine would fall apart if I tried to load all available leagues. Are they all playable as well? Right. Bit short on right back options on this one. Let's go with Carney, as if I had a choice. Give Ruben Oliveira another match. I like that boy. He's big. Let's give Kirkes a run out. And we're going to go for João Neves, and let's give Richter a start, shall we? We are up against a 17th place team, so I'd like to think we've got a good chance of winning this one without having to put the very strongest first 11 out that we can. I'm going to respect Gladbach because they did incredibly well last season. We know they're no mugs. But at the same time, I'd like to think we should be able to get a win here. So all playable. Well, I mean that's all I can say is you must have a monster of a setup. That wasn't quite what I wanted to go for in terms of team talks, but we can recover that. Let's go and beat Gladbach. .6'4". He's 6'4". He just heads the ball. That's all I want him to do. That's why he's there. If I haven't made the point strongly enough, big centre backs, at least one. Aim everything at that big centre back. It's worth goals. You can have a smaller ball playing defender alongside them, but you just need one big lump of a defender. Good ball through for Margraf. Can he cut it back for someone in the middle? It's Richter who, well, I think Richter had a shot there. Was that Richter? I thought it might have been Hardy, actually. Who did he cut that back for, Margraf? That was Richter, wasn't it? Yeah. He's definitely had a shot. And Burkholt's just got in the way. Seen it go flashing wide and just, I mean, he's put his body on the line there. And it's all Hertha at the moment. Oliveira into Richter. I think he was onside there. I don't see a problem with that goal. There we go. That's 3-0. And once again, whack it across to the big guy. Richter's in the middle to take advantage of that ball coming back across the face of goal. It's 3-0. And any worries I had about the loss to Schalke preceding a complete tumble in form, they've gone. There are no fears anymore. Carney out there reacting quite well to being moved about over the last couple of seasons. I've played him at defensive midfield, I've played him at centre back, and this season he's mostly been a right back for me. That wasn't a penalty, it wasn't inside the box. But he's adapted well to pretty much every challenge I've thrown at him. When I turned up, he was pretty much the best player at the club. We've improved the club around him. He is still a very good player. But he can play in a number of positions. He's a very useful player to have. And it's Oliveira again. Now, referee's determined to try and ruin our party here. But he can't. Even VAR can't help him cheat us out of a second Ruben Oliveira goal. Look at. Do you know why he did that? He's just bigger than the rest. That's it. There's no more complicated, tactics behind that. It's just lump it at the big guy. Tony Pulis, Sam Allardyce, they know what they're talking about. And Sam Allardyce said that there's no one better than him. That's what he's talking about. He knows how to make that stuff happen. All right, he didn't save Leeds, but, you know, everyone fails occasionally. Burkholt showing off his skills there. And Cho can't quite get on the end of it. Timely introduction of those emotes, stuck. Very timely indeed. Oh, and that's crashed against the crossbar. I'm quite looking forward to my next save. I know I've said this a few times already, but part of the reason I'm looking forward to my next save, which will be a creator club save. So we're going to start way down in level 13 of English football with a club that we're going to put in the West Kent Division 2. And we're just going to see how far we want to get them into professional football. That's the aim of it all. But I can be a little bit more experimental with the tactics there. This one I'm going for success. I'm going for the tactics of work. It's going to be a 4-2-3-1. It's going to be a 4-3-3. It's going to be a 4-2-4, which I've proven beats a 4-4-2. But in the next save, we'll be a bit more experimental. I definitely want a 5 at the back. I do love a 5-3-2. And I know in certain circles that makes me a bit of a pervert, and I accept that. But I do love a 5-3-2 in Football Manager. But aside from that, I might do some 4-4-2 diamonds. Again, that's another formation I quite like. That's a very aggressive formation, and I like that. Sorry, I had to do the stuff the therapist gave me. Okay, no worries, mate. No worries. Got to make sure you keep your toes. No one wants to not do their exercises and find that they suddenly have to lose their toes. So that sounds like a fire engine going past. No, police. What do I know? I'm playing against this 199 current ability player next. Let's pause that and have a look. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Oh, he's 6 foot tall as well. Oh, he's perfect. Where do I get one? 68 goals in 82 games for Man United. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, he's beautiful. I didn't even notice the marking. His tackling's 9. And this guy could play pretty much any role in any part of the pitch. I mean, he'd be a passable centre back for goodness sake. Good anticipation. The marking's not bad. Tackling, all right. I mean, you only need tackling so much as a centre back. Your heading and your jumping is more important, I think, as is your strength. Great composure. Oh yeah, I want one. I'm gonna have to put him on my Christmas list for my wife. Love that guy in a 3 striker setup, mate. You could just put him up on his own and he'll do everything you ask of him. Nice staying welcome. How are you? I'm really good, thank you. I'm enjoying the fact it's nearly the weekend. I've got cricket to watch tomorrow. How are you doing though? How's the week treating you so far? Cho, we're 5-0 up and Cho hasn't scored. So this feels like the perfect time to introduce Luis Silva for a few more minutes. Cristiano's looking complacent, so Chrysostomu can come on in his place. And let's continue. I have a weird way of playing, so let me have my 2 or 3 strikers. No, Ashwin, I love a 2-striker formation. I do. Football Manager, it feels like it's getting better at appreciating 2-striker formations. But I tend to find one up top is the way to go. But yeah, no, I used to like a narrow 4-3-3 as well. Literally, all the width came from your fullbacks. 3 central midfielders, 3 strikers. I used to like that one, but I don't think you see that anywhere now. Your 2 wide forwards are wide. Right, let's get Nkidi on and Cohane, and then we're done. And I think we're just going to see this one out comfortably. We put Schalke behind us. Of course, we're going to lose a player. Just after I make 2 subs, Richter, who scored 2 goals, gets injured. That's going to be a big injury as well, isn't it? Right. Not to panic. I think we've got this one in the bag. My opinion, we're missing 2 lines in FM. Interesting. Where do you think those 2 lines should be? Because one of the things I think they did really well actually is when they introduced roles and duties. It made formations feel far less flat. And I remember the days of sliders and player instructions being the most important thing, and you'd have to create a deep lying playmaker out of these sliders. Yeah, like a proper 4-3-3. 2 wide strikers, genuine sort of inside outside forwards who don't come back and defend it quite as much. Rather than attacking midfield right, attacking midfield left, it's a forward left, forward right. They used to have that in much older versions of FM. They literally would be represented with FL. Was that with the Wibwob duck? With ball, without ball, Wibwob. Was it 2010 that had the Diablo formation? Basically, it was guaranteed 100 plus goals a season. Completely removed sliders after FM 2013. Yeah, and I'm glad they did because I think it made some people it made it too easy to cheese the game. We could use one at the back to have a deep defender, 2 in front. Two in front, you know. Oh, yes, a sweeper. Genuine sweeper. Hey, Scraps is back and he's subscribed with Primes. Scraps, thank you very much. That's greatly appreciated, mate. Thank you. We were wondering whether you were going to cut. Well, we knew you were going to be here, but we missed you, mate. How are you doing? Very good, isn't he? We could have bought him. We could buy him in the summer. I think he's one that I'm going to add to the short list. You may speak of the devil. With after all of your Swindon nonsense, your lucky devil's all we're calling you. Oh, I love duck jokes. What did the Japanese cannibal eat for dinner? Oh, you're going to have to tell me this one. VAR had nothing to do with you losing 5-0, mate. Just accept it and move on. You're going down. All right, Frankfurt up next. They're fifth. They're doing surprisingly well. I think I know it. Ramen. Are you just reusing jokes you've used on Ashwin's streams on mine? Not that I mind. Oh god. I need to get a notebook just so I can write them down as we go. I don't know, Duck. What is the official language in the middle of the earth? Korean. Oh, this is glorious. So, Scraps, have you seen that Gillingham are officially massive? It looks like Alfie May is on his way. Few places reporting it's pretty much a done deal. So adds to our former Welsh international Johnny Williams. We've now got a player who, many regard as being good enough to play top of League One or even in the Championship, and he's coming to join us in League Two. And Dor has signed that new contract. No minimum release clause. That's perfect. Gillingham are small. Once upon a time, that may have been true. Now, however, massive. Officially massive. And haven't you heard? We're the sleeping giants. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? Oh, God. Okay. Are we going dark? It's fine. He woke up. Oh, God. I even know that one. I even know that one. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Now, these are jokes. These are real jokes. So bad they're good. Go on then, Scraps. What have you got for us? Gillingham. I knew that was coming. I genuinely knew that was coming. I think Scoops has gone live on his stream. Otherwise, this would have been 2v1. Fellow Gillingham streamer. I want to. I can scrap you. Yeah, scraps. That's what Leeds feed around out for now, isn't it? Bit of a scraps. The Premier League teams leave them. Why does Wally wear a striped shirt? I've not heard this one. So go on then. Why does Wally wear a striped shirt? More money. Because he doesn't want to be spotted. I need to save some of these for my kids. They're going to think I'm hilarious for the first time ever. The problem is the jokes I'm stuck with are the ones that I remember, which is very, very few of them. My go-to is why didn't the skeleton go to the party? Because he's got nobody to go with. And that's about it. I don't know. Why did the man fall down the well? Because he couldn't see that well. Oh, God. Works on so many levels. So many levels. Okay, Eintracht Frankfurt. They're now fourth. They are flying this season. I have to get out of here with these bloody stupid jokes. My IQ is dripping away. Ashwin, wait till your little one is old enough to be able to understand them. You're going to be a god to that kid. You break out a few of those jokes, and you will be the funniest man on the earth. I will save the rest for a rainy day. Just curious, is it possible to have a negative IQ? I think we can all agree that Ashwin proves yes, it's possible. I sent you a TikTok I'm editing. I want to know what you think so far. Oh, goodness. Please tell me it's safe for the Twitch. Okay. It's highly optimistic so far. Yeah, I like that ending. I do like that ending. Anything below 70 is negative. I reckon I'm about 55 now after the run of jokes. Most amounts 200,000 likes an hour. Manchester City tweet treble win's got 140k likes since June. I like this. It says what we've all known. We all know, and we have done for a long time. Man City are they're new money. They haven't got the fan base that the proper big clubs have. They're obviously big in terms of recent success, but they just don't have that same level of support that the likes of Man United, the likes of even the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool have built up over the years. Screw United and Chelsea. I mean, honestly, that's great business for Chelsea because let's face it, Mason Mount isn't going to exactly set the world on fire at Man United. There's no football going on, so football transfers are hot topics. I mean, that's true. That is true. But you'd also think, given the level of coverage Man City winning a treble got, you'd have expected more likes to it. But looks like I just genuinely think that is the level of support they've got. They have a core of supporters. No one's going to deny they've got supporters, but they haven't got the fan base that the traditionally big teams have got. Right, he's going to have Richter as our sub there. Diamande, Dort, Burke, Holt, and Luis Silva. We've got so many options. We really have. But it's Twitter. I mean, yeah. Twitter's a cesspit. It's a toxic cesspool of sewage. Yeah, precisely. I'm not going to argue that. I've also found that I'm being bombarded with ads from accounts that have their blue ticks. They're verified, um, but they're inevitably some sort of scam. So Twitter is now at the stage where it is actively promoting and accepting money from scam pages, and that's incredible to me. And I only use Twitter for the most part to interact with other Gillingham fans, to keep abreast of news, such as Alfie May coming home to Kent. Sent you another one. Okay, well we'll chuck that one on after the match. Scraps. What you could do, Scraps, as well, try and do one for next year. The only problem there is you've got to predict who's going to be in League One with you. Gillingham, obviously. 199 current ability guy didn't score and was subbed at 73 minutes as a 1-out 2-0 win as well. Superior tactics. When you're a tactical genius like you are, Duck, it doesn't matter who they've got on the other side. Oi, yeah. that's that's a much needed clearance there. We're not getting everything all our own way here against Frankfurt, are we? We are the better of the two teams, but that was a very good opportunity for them. Is this your first Champions League in 200 years of football? Never say that. Not fair. With 20 minutes or so, 1 sec. Okay. Oh, you're going to be creating an anti Gillingham TikTok, aren't you? So yeah, first European Champions League in 200 years of football. I presume you've won Asian continental titles, having spent so long in Hong Kong. Well, we do finally get the lead against Frankfurt here. I was slightly concerned for a little while, though. Just a little while. Okay, let's see if we can drive home our dominance in this second half. I think I'm going to try and give Lewis Silva a little bit more game time. Cho's performing okay so far in this match, but it's been a couple of games since we've seen him score. Might be time to try and introduce a little bit of not opposition for him, but competition for him. And we get away with one there. We really got away with one there. That's the downside to Oliveira. He's not, I mean, he's not slow, but he's not that quick. He's also not quick to turn around and see what's going on over his shoulder. Right, let's get Lewis Silva on, because I am determined to make my £110,000 signing a success at this club. And then Hardy for Ralph Dorr, our boy with our new contract. And he's going to be a massive player for Hertha. Massive player. Oliveira clears it, of course. I don't want you out there, Oliveira. No, 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 no. No, you stay in the middle. That's your job. You stay there. Let someone else run after other players. You stay in the middle and head the ball away. Right, Margraf or let's get Diamande on. Shao Neves for Richter, and we'll put Nkili in the Volante role. And we've got one more stoppage, so let's hold on to that last sub after getting Richter injured in the last few minutes of the Gladbach game. I'm nervous again about losing players late on. Right, who's tired? Let's get Bradley on for Akane. Do you know, let's get Kohane on for Kirkes. I can't believe I started Kirkes ahead of Kohane. Dorr now. Can he do a Ralph Dorr thing? Very nearly does a Ralph Dorr thing. And for anyone who's not heard me waxing lyrical about Ralph Dorr, he's a youngster who's just already first team level. I think he was 18, might have even been 17 when he was first team level. And every time I introduce him as a sub, he seems to do something. A goal, an assist, a run. He just causes problems for the opposition, as he has there. Running across the box, putting a shot over the bar, and then running into the box there with the ball and forcing the keeper into a save. He's got that thing about him. He's got that, I don't want to say X factor because that's a stupid term, but he's got that something about him. Okay, a win's a win. And we've got to give Frankfurt some respect. They're in fourth for a reason. All right, they are 21 points behind us after 23 games for a reason as well. But an away game is never going to be simple, and not against a team performing as well as they are. So going away, getting a 1-0 win, it's good work. And any money we got from the Van Den Ham deal has just gone straight to Arsenal and then some. Thank God for that £12 million sponsorship that came in during the winter. So the question is Mason Mount going to Man United good business? Is it good business? And if so, who's it good business for? In my opinion, it's better business for Chelsea than it is for Man United. I see it was a £60 million offer, or a £60 million transfer fee. I mean, like I say, in my opinion, Chelsea have got the better out of that by far. Chelsea are laughing their way to the bank after that one. Right, we did have another TikTok from Scraps. Let's see what we've got. Oh, oh, I'm glad Ashwin wasn't around to see that one. Well, it's fake news. It's absolutely fake news. There's no way Spurs are better than Arsenal. They have had the odd fluke where they finished higher than Arsenal in the last 20 odd years. One, two, maybe. But yeah, no, no, no. Can't buy that one, I'm afraid. I am on mute. Thank you very much, Scraps. It's only because what I said wasn't safe for Twitch. I'm kidding. I don't know what point you didn't hear me from, but basically, I was talking about the fact that we're one away from equaling the record number of wins for Hertha, and I mean we're in unknown territory for Hertha Berlin. We're certainly ahead of where I expected us to be. I certainly wasn't expecting a genuine title challenge already. There's still 11 games to go, so we can throw this away pretty darn quickly. But we've lost one game all season, and that was to Schalke. 3 draws, and we've beaten Bayern Munich on their own patch. I'm confident that we are going to turn this into a rip-roaring season. Okay, next up we've got Leipzig, then we've got Frankfurt again in the cup, and then Fortuna Düsseldorf. So another strong team out for this one. But now now we've got Margraf in. We've got many more options with what we do with this front four. We're still fairly limited at the back, but we've still got a strong team there. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's fair, Scraps. I've heard that one quite a few times at Priestfield. Can't always tell whether it's the home fans or the away fans singing it, but Man United are stupid buying Mount. 60 million for him is crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is it confirmed that it's 60 million pounds? But that's insane money. I don't think Mount's proved himself yet, and I'm not convinced he's got the potential to be that much better than he already is. Happy to be proven wrong on stuff like this. Goodness knows I know next to nothing about football, so I wouldn't take my opinion for anything. Let's give Dora a start, shall we? And is this the game to give Luis Silva his first start? I don't. I don't think so. I think we'll go with Cho. Give Cho a chance to score his way out of his tiny little slump. Let's do that. There we go. Tim Andy Hardy. That's meant to be Simon Hardy. There we go. Margraf Silva. That's our squad for this one. Chelsea are laughing at Arsenal, Man United. So you think? Do you think Havertz? Yeah, can't even say his name. Do you think Havertz is a bad sale as well, or a bad purchase on Arsenal's part? I don't think it's that bad. Man United are just a shit version of Man City anyway. Yeah, so talking to an Arsenal friend of mine, he says that Havertz is a good player. He's just been played in the wrong position at Chelsea, playing too much as a striker and not enough as a midfielder. Um, and I don't know if that's just him trying to convince himself that Havertz is better than he thinks. I wouldn't want him at AC Milan. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the barometer, isn't it? If you take him at your team, then probably a decent player. But if you're saying no, then he's lying to himself. Oh, possibly. It wouldn't be the first time. Want to know what was crazy? Gillingham knocking Brentford out of the Carabao Cup. It was absolutely insane, Scraps, and what a night it was. I was there with my eldest, and we didn't get home until I think it was just before midnight, because it's the other side of London to us, pretty much the complete opposite side of London. And we had the kickoff was delayed by, I think it was about half an hour in the end, because there was so much traffic from all of the Just Stop Oil protests that our team coach could not get to the stadium, and as a result, they had to walk the last mile and a half, 2 miles, I think it was, to get to Brentford. So yeah, they turned up with pretty much no warm up. They had like 10-15 minute warm up, and then had to go out there and play. We conceded within 3 minutes. And when you concede within 3 minutes against a Premier League team as a League Two team, especially one that was in the position we were in, pretty much bottom of the league at that point, at that stage of the season, where you're starting to think things are going absolutely horrendously. I was expecting 6-7. I expected Ivan Toney to smash us. I thought he'd score 3 or 4 past us. I'm glad I didn't put a bet on it. And then we just dug in. And the fans were incredible. 2,000 of us just singing the whole game through. We weren't there for a win. We weren't there for any expectation. We were just there. We were there for a party. It was a day out. And the limbs when that equaliser went in, incredible. This is the one thing I can't stand is bloody protesters. I think protesters got a time and a place for sure. It does a lot of good things. Got to make sure the targets are right, and I don't think they're doing that. Really don't like Man United. They're just shit now and still think they are great. Yeah, they're definitely trying to hold on to past glories, but can't rule them out. At some point, there's a good chance they'll get themselves back to where they were. Can't you just run them over? Bang, the protest became energy for the planet. I reckon they've probably got some sort of law against that, Duck. They block the road and shit. That is annoying when they're disrupting people going to work or something. Yeah, and I get what they're saying, that the point is to cause disruption, to bring people to their cause, to highlight their cause. But, and there is a but to this, it works against them. There are plenty of people who you'd probably call moderate in their views um, on things like, just stop oil, climate change, who think, yeah, absolutely, we probably should be doing a bit more to try and slow the man-made climate change. But the methods do rankle with some of those people, and they start to almost turn against it. And you've got those people who are maybe a bit on the fence, perhaps, who generally become very anti their cause as a result. Yeah, and then fuckwits wouldn't allow ambulances. Yeah, and I mean, I've got a personal grievance against them as well when they blocked the Dartford Bridge, the QE2 bridge. Um, my nan was in hospital dying. It was we got the phone call from the hospital to say that she wasn't going to last more than a few hours. My mum tried to get there, but because of the traffic caused by the protesters, attaching themselves to the bridge, she didn't get there in time. She didn't get there in time, and I don't think I can ever forgive them for that. My mum didn't get a chance to say goodbye to my nan because of them. So yeah, I've got a personal grievance there as well. Right, let's just turn our minds to Football Manager for just a moment. That will do. 2 subs is enough. Are you watching the Leeds v Warrington game? I'm not actually. I don't even have my TV set up for it tonight. Surely car stopping in one area is even worse than cars driving. Let's face it, people don't turn off their engine when stuck in traffic. Of course not. There's very short window, especially in the UK, for the weather to be temperate enough that you don't need either heating or air conditioning on in your car. In UK, you absolutely need it for like 95% of the year. So if you're stuck in 2 hours worth of traffic, you can be damn sure I'm not turning off my air conditioning if it's in the summer, and I'm not turning off my heating if it's in the winter. There's a week somewhere in March where I'm fine with that, with turning off my AC, but no. One of the biggest causes of traffic pollution in cities, and forgive me if I got this a bit wrong, but I'm remembering a fact I heard from school. The traffic pollution, the biggest cause of traffic pollution is cars driving in like first and second gear. It's the slow traffic. It's the sitting at traffic lights. If you want things to be more efficient, to be less polluting, you need to try to make it easier for traffic to pass through, not slow it down. We all hate scraps. Where's this coming from? Is I mean, is a Warrington win good for Castleford then? That's where Little Iron. Do you really think we will make a difference? Well, I guess from the protesters' point of view, probably not. But I mean, the UK, I think, has already done quite a bit to try and cut its emissions. Yes, we could probably go further. Things such as speeding up the change to electric cars, for example. But as I've said to friends many times, that's never going to happen until you've got the infrastructure in place. You're just not going to get people out of petrol and diesel cars until there's a charging port everywhere, just everywhere. So you've got to you can't put the cart before the horse, I think is the saying I'd use there. And I've got lots of sympathy for what they want to happen. I have, obviously, I don't want this world to practically burn in front of my eyes, and I don't want my children to inherit an earth that's uninhabitable. But at the same time, you've got to focus in the right places. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you want. And I do think that at some point it tips from genuine protest, genuinely trying to make change, into um into just pure disobedience and childishness, infantilism. It doesn't achieve what they want it to achieve. I know you just hate Leeds. Do you love Leeds football but hate Leeds rugby? Yeah, cool. Castleford play St Helens. Well, St Helens is my team, Scraps. So, bit of a rivalry there going tomorrow. Millions upon billions in Asia, which isn't what they don't care about the climate and all that jazz, which can't afford to care about it, as they need to feed their families. Yeah, and this is it. This is it. You know, a lot of pollution now comes from India and China. They're massive industrial countries. That's where our efforts should be focused. And there is a case for saying that as industrialized, wealthy nations, we've got our part to play in that, because we outsource a lot of our industrialism to them. So we've got our part to play in it. And every world leader going to climate change conference in massive Hummers and SUVs is the wrong impression. Yeah, exactly. They've all taken private jets there. Not one of them will have taken a commercial flight. You can be sure of that. Yeah, it is a power trip for some of them, I think. You're right. Hate Leeds Rhinos, love Leeds United. Glory hunting bastard. Yeah, that's me. Look, I support Gillingham. I deserve a little bit of glory now. Because God knows I don't get it in football. Although this season, I'm going straight up to the top of League Two. And I might as well already give us the trophy now. Volunteer for the local community is surely better cause and more important. Yes and no. Yes and no. So yeah, absolutely. It's going to have a more immediate impact, and it's going to have an impact you can see in your community. At the same time, policy will have to change. In order for us to make real change, policy will have to change. And you need people who can influence that. What I would say is I don't think they are influencing it, particularly not with this government, because they are very belligerent when it comes to these sorts of tactics, these sorts of claims. And it's just become a politicised thing. They're, that the Conservative government in the UK will say, well, Labour support Just Stop Oil, and thus that's a reason for us not to even listen to them. And Labour just tries to say nothing about it, as far as I can tell. So yeah, it's become too politicised. So I don't think they will achieve anything with the current government, especially not continuing with the tactics they've got. If they'd approached it from a point of view of we need to do more, let's work together to make it happen, might have had limited success. No, I mean, it's a better way to use your free time. I mean, than some of these stupid protests. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, protests have their place. They absolutely do. You can't deny it. Human history is littered with people who have achieved nothing, have great ideas, but achieved nothing because they won't disrupt. They won't get in the faces of the people who need to be gotten in the faces of to make things change. Is upsetting a lot of people trying to commute to work a way to do it? No. You go and block the M25. Does Rishi Sunak care? Not in the slightest. Go and block a bunch of random A roads across the country. Does that affect Rishi Sunak? No, he took a helicopter to some event, didn't he, recently, which got everyone in a bit of a tizzy. Why would he care? Why would he? So no, you're right. It doesn't work in this respect. And actually, if they were to do a bit more local work, perhaps. Can I start a very, very controversial convo? Um, given your humour, I'm going to say yes. But what I will say is, if it gets that controversial, I'll have to shut it down. I've got to try and keep the channel open. Right, 1 second while I turn this light on. Right, who are we up against next? Eintracht Frankfurt again. Okay, they gave us a bit of a game on their patch, didn't they? And let's get Bradley a start. He's left him out for quite a few games now. We'll go for Chrysostomu and let's invite Ruben Oliveira back to the side. Cohane. Let's go and Keeley and Richter, shall we? Richter's someone I'm trying to get some minutes into. Okay, one word, schools and transgender, or is it too controversial? 2 words, I mean. I mean, it obviously is controversial for a lot of people. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know much about it. I'm not going to pretend I have a strong opinion about anything in that in that sphere. All I will say is that transgender people have the right to exist. There's no two ways about it. Human beings are human beings. Ethan Diamande. How far away is Eddie Yami? Well, no, he's just come back from rehab. It's 7 weeks. We can't put him on the bench. Okay, we'll go Vega, even though he's having a strop. I don't like it in kids. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is where it gets really, really tough. And like I say, I struggle with what's right and what's wrong there. The Warrior 987. Thank you much for the follow. You've joined us at a very controversial time. On which planet does an 8-year-old worry about not feeling right in their gender? I mean, kids feel all sorts of things. I think I said it on the last stream, and it was very different conversation on Tuesday night. But mental health, the way we feel about things, the way we process things, I think we're much more open to the ideas that as human beings we are fallible and our mental health is not perfect. We do struggle with these things and we're much more open about it. We can talk about it. We talked about panic attacks. We talked about having difficult thoughts, dark thoughts. It happens in children as well. Whether what they feel is something which needs immediate action in that respect, I don't feel comfortable with it myself, if I'm honest with you. I'm good, the Warrior. How are you doing, mate? How's your week treating you so far? Oh, ads if you've not already had them. There's a problem with parents and schools encouraging it. So I don't agree that it's encouraged. I think we encourage them to be open about it, and I think that's absolutely right. People need to have a chance, children or not, to have an outlet to be able to talk about how they do feel. Whether, like I say, whether we need to act on it with medication, with surgery, etc. I don't think I feel comfortable with that at all. At the same time, you're saying we'll have a problem in 10, 15 years when they want to turn it back. I wouldn't presuppose that that's going to be the case. I wouldn't say every single person who has transition from one gender to another, through say surgical or medical means, is necessarily going to want to reverse that. So it's a tough one. It is a tough one. I feel like kids need to understand about it, but I just think parents should talk to them about it, not the school. Scraps, if parents did talk to it to their children about these sorts of subjects regularly, and I mean on a widespread basis, I don't think the schools would need to. It should be up to the parents. It would be preferable, but at the same point, I don't think parents do. It's a really difficult subject to engage with. Even now, I'm sitting here sweating like, what on earth do I say? Because I don't know enough about things. Are you back from the advert? Good, good. Yeah, no, I'm good, Warrior. How's your week going so far? How are things going? I'll let me put my save command in the chat for you, not to try and clear the chat there, but actually just to catch you up on where we are. So we started unemployed via Sweden and Scotland. We made our way to Hertha Berlin, where we are in the middle of a very very real challenge for the title. Bayern Munich have won the German league 20 years in a row, and we are trying to put a stop to that. There's a kid at one of my local schools who identifies as a cat yet don't use a litter box. I mean, I've heard that story is perhaps a little bit overblown. I've not read into it because I do think you get certain portions of the media and social media who will jump on this stuff and try and make a mountain out of a molehill. But I thought it was a bit fake news, that one. No, this is a different area. Week's going good, mate. I've got my travel and ticket for the Challenge Cup semi-final all sorted if you watch rugby league somehow. Well, we've got a few rugby league watchers in possibly still in the chat now. I normally go to the Challenge Cup final. No, I've got tickets for this year. Still dithering over whether I'm going because Gillingham have a home game and I'm also a season ticket holder there. But I do tend to go to the Challenge Cup final. Scraps here is a Castleford fan. Mustang is from Italy, if he's still here. But I'm not sure which side he chose, but he's just finding his way in rugby league over the last couple of weeks. I'm a Wigan fan. Yes, that very much did give it away. Our chief artist on the channel, who is called Chief's Kingdom, is also a Wigan fan as well. So he's not seen him for a week or so. So he may be on holiday somewhere nice. But yeah, also a big Wigan fan. And if you can't tell by the accent, I come from down south, so I don't get much access to higher quality, top level rugby league. But I'm finding my way. So I've been going to the Challenge Cup final every year for the last 6 or so years. Didn't go last year because they moved the date and I couldn't make it, but I do love it. I genuinely used to be a Union fan in my younger days, but as I've matured, decided rugby league's much better. It's much faster. And it's more akin to football than rugby league is, and I think I enjoy it for that. In terms of like the pace of the game, not necessarily the way it's played. I'm converting to the light side from the dark side then. Yeah, absolutely am, mate. Absolutely am. I've definitely moved over to the light side. Wait, are we calling rugby league the light side? I thought it was the dark side. I want to be on the dark side. But no, in all honesty, I prefer rugby league these days. It's just it's a faster paced game. There's more action. I used to like the tactical element of rugby union, but no, I've lost that. I've lost the love for it. And also trying to teach it to my 12-year-old, I took him to a double header match, double header event at Twickenham for London or London adjacent teams playing in 2 matches there. And we left off the first one because I was trying to explain to him when he was 6 years old what the rules are. I just didn't have the words to explain to a 6-year-old what a ruck was, so I just gave up on that and decided that maybe it's not for him. And that's Cristiano on it as our last sub there, just in case one of those two centre-backs decides to go and get himself a second yellow card. Open wire loose so we can get close to the top, but I can't stand Leeds either. I think Scraps is anti Rhinos, so it might be a bit of a rivalry on this one. So what's the situation at the top of the Super League then? Are Warriors that close to the top? I wish I'd set on my TV here for watching the rugby league now. We got any more games on this week actually? Well, Leeds are 22-6 up. We've got one tomorrow night at 8 on at the not the football, the cricket. And then the weekend games aren't being shown. That's a shame. Oh, fuck, Leeds and Wakey and Fev. Who's Fev? So I'm still learning. I'm still learning my my rugby league terms. Oh, Featherstone. Oh, is this the championship team scraps? That's like a stone's throw from Castleford. You know, we've now gone 18 games unbeaten in the cup. Very much a cup specialist kind of save this one. We won the Scottish Cup with Dundee and with Dundee United and with Rangers, and we won the cup with Hertha in our first season with them. 2 points behind Wyre, 4 points behind Catalan. I can't believe Catalan are doing as well as they are. I think we did look at this a week or so ago. Actually, we did look at the table on stream. Because when I saw them in the Challenge Cup final, they were very much the underdogs. So that was the team that I was supporting. I tend to do that. I will just support whoever's not expected to win, and had a fairly good success rate with that. Right, we're just going to take a break from rugby league chat to talk about the fact we are in the round of 16 for the Champions League, and it is draw time. We want Celta Vigo, I think, or Mainz. We are a seeded team. We finished 8th in the league phase. Mainz, Celta Vigo. I mean, Porto, Benfica, Lazio. Anyone but the two Manchester teams and PSG, I think we can beat. So let's see who we end up with. Okay, that's good. Man City are out of the pot. Give me Porto. Yes, Porto. Excellent. Okay, we may have a chance of a quarter final here. People usually call Castle Cass. Yeah, yeah. Is it Cass? Yeah, it's got to be Cass. It's got to be Cass, not Cass. Cass. It's Northern Castleford. Yes, Cass, isn't it? Change. I'm not a Wigan Athletic fan in football. There's a bit of hatred between rugby and football in Wigan. I mean, that's interesting because you'd expect that it'd be hometown thing. If you're from Wigan, you'll support Wigan. Are you from Wigan though, Warrior? What the fuck is Cast? Yeah, yes. I say it's a southern accent. It's Castleford. It's a castle, not a castle. It's a castle. But no, I did assume it'd be Cass. You are from Wigan. We say it's an off course, but we've got a regular in the chat who's a Man United fan, but he's also a Wigan Warriors fan. Okay, so if you don't support Wigan Athletic in the football, who do you support? Anyone in football? Is football your game? Can't stand the southern accent. I'm sorry, I just can't. It's absolutely fine. And you say you can't stand it, but you're coming back time and again, Scraps. Or is it just me that you love? You're willing to forgive my accent just for the great bands. Yorkshire best accent. Parodies of Yorkshire accents are the best. Oh, don't tell me you don't. That's well, how am I going to live with myself? Yeah, I wouldn't be watching the stream if I didn't watch football. I mean, yeah. I mean, fair comment. Fair comment. I'm a City fan by that. I mean, Manchester City. Interesting. We did wonder if you guys existed. I thought you just bust in a load of people from elsewhere. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I am. I am, however, very much a Gillingham fan and still bitter about 1999. I love an Irish accent. Find it quite attractive. Yes, Irish accent, Australian accent. They both do it for me. So, did you manage to get down to the FA Cup final? Or well, talking about the FA Cup final as if that's the big one. Did you get to the Champions League final? And that must have been an expense and a half, but it would have been worth it if you can make it. Should we not play Neves as our? Or actually, let's not. We need to rotate a little bit here, don't we? Yeah, I think Akania wants starting against Porto, and Keely can rest for one more. And give Rick to the run out. And then we'll go Lethan, Diamande, Hardy, and I am going to give Luis Silva his first start of the season. Yorkshire accent is sexy. Why do you think I get so many girls? It's right. No one likes us, both Wigan and City. Do you know? I've got more of a problem with Mark Halsey than I've got with Man City. To be honest with you, that 5 minutes of overtime, overtime. My God, I sound American there. Of injury time was nonsense. No, Aussies accept. Instead, turn off, shut the door. Okay, right, fair enough. So not Aussies. I love a girl with an Aussie accent. I'm going to UEFA Super Cup in Greece. That'll be quite cool. That's a bit different. That gonna get a ticket for the FA Cup and went to Magic Weekend instead. Oh, Ashwin, got breaking news. Man City have been accused of taking 30 million disguised as sponsorship funding from a mystery individual based in Abu Dhabi. This new revelation is on top of the 115 other charges levelled against them. Not great reading for City fans. That's mad. And I'm not, honestly, I'm not surprised. I thought that was one of the accusations because I remember reading about that years ago. There was a whole emails from a physio thing, wasn't there? I'm sensing some hate for City here. No, not necessarily. Innocent until proven guilty. Look, Man City, Chelsea, financial doping, it's a thing. City, Chelsea, Barcelona, Derby, all spending well beyond their means or well beyond what the rules say they can and just hiding it in different ways. Derby got caught out, they went bust. But yeah, there's an awful lot of it going on. And that's not hatred for any one club, it's just hatred for what it's doing to the game of football. We don't want Vega on bench. He can just sit there all quietly. From the stands, City are scum. Don't Warrior, don't mind Scraps. He's he likes to be controversial. He even says Gillingham are scum, and that's obvious nonsense. Tried to claim that Swindon are better than Gillingham as well, and yeah, anyone who knows anything knows that's not true. They aren't innocent at all. They're not. They're absolutely not. Wasn't Haaland's a release clause though? Don't worry, as the chant goes, we're ruining football and we don't care. I mean, yeah. The worry though has got to be at some point that your Emirati owners get bored or something happens to dry up that money, and then where do they leave you? So they say, do you really believe that? I mean, if I'm honest with you, Ashwin, I've got no reason not to believe it. There are things you believe, some things you don't. That's one that no, I just don't know. Oh, here we go. Football hot take time. What do you got for us, Scraps? There's got to be a new one. You've done Spurs a better than Arsenal. You've done Swindon a better than Gillingham. Ireland chose to represent Norway, so no English tax. I mean, there might be an element of that. I keep forgetting that he would have had that. Would he have had that opportunity? Does Haaland have a British passport? Obviously, his dad's links to Man City, very well known. Scrappy scrapping the rubbish on the internet. He's absolutely scraping the barrel from the internet. He will come up with a view to make us all tut and shake our heads. Leeds one, don't know whether to be happy or pissed off, but then again, it is why. So, look, take it as a Warrior. Take it as a free win. You didn't want either team to win, but as long as one of them lose, surely that's a good thing. United won't win the league in the next 10 years. I can't see that happening either, Duck. I mean, unless their sale goes through, unless their new owner actually if it is the Sheikh Jassim, I can't see anything necessarily happening for Man United for a long time. Best thing you said all night. They won't. Hopefully, the Glazers stay. I reckon a few Man United fans might disagree with you there, Warrior, but I'll see where that's coming from. You and Liverpool, I think, are both hoping the Glazers stay for a long old time. And look, it's Oliveira again. Look, it shows you how much notice I taken of the football. My big 6'4" centre back is a goal scoring machine at the moment. Silva's had his run out. Let's get him off. Don't want to. We don't want to ruin him at such a young age. And Keeley can come on just to strengthen that midfield. And Oliveira is tired, and we are going to rest him up because he is starting against Porto. I have decided. Love Glazer and hate United. Man United, a bunch of idiots. Can't wait for United to get Saudi and still complain about City spend. Warrior, you said there's City hate. I think it's very much more directed at United tonight. I don't think I can say scum and bag in the same sentence. It did get auto-modded, but I've allowed it. It should work both ways. Or dive laughing. Yeah. One of the problems with FFP is that while I get where it's coming from, I get the idea that what it should stop is for extremely rich owners to just come in and buy a competition, which is what's happened. It happened with Chelsea when Abramovich took over. It's happened with Man City. Newcastle were trying to do the same, and Man United are likely to try and do the same as well. It was brought in to try to stop that from happening by making sure that any income, any spend was from earned income as opposed to someone just laying a pile of money on a table and saying, go and spend it and buy me a title. I get that. That's not bad. But the problem is, one of the impacts of that is it means that the entrenched rich teams were forever going to stay at the top under FFP. And we've just absolutely stuffed this up, haven't we? Don't think that ref's giving that offside. Not unless he's a good man. Are you a good man? Oh, you are a good man. Right, we're gonna waste time now. So yeah, to come back to my point, unless those entrenched teams were always going to stay at the top because they'll always be in the Champions League, they'll always get more money. It would just have ended up with the same teams winning the league year after year after year after year. Absolute snooze fest. So a bit of disruption isn't a bad thing, but my problem is that the more you get of this, the more of these teams being bought by super rich owners, the less football becomes about the fans. And it's already bad enough as it is. Ever since the Premier League era came in, Premier League clubs do not care about their fans one way or another. They don't. Exception potentially for the likes of West Ham, who offer season tickets for £200. But I'm going to struggle to listen to anyone who tells me that Premier League clubs care about their fans, properly care about their fans. Because it's just not true. I think at lower levels, yeah, they still do, because the fans have far more influence over a club. For example, if every Man United fan were to protest against the Glazers and give up their season ticket, they just have another 50,000 people come in and buy those season tickets from them. You could do that numerous times, and that stadium would still be full. If we did that at Gillingham, which there were moves trying to force that happen, you would absolutely end up with an empty stadium and a club that went bust. So they have to care because we have more control than in the Premier League. And in my rant, I've missed half a chat, so let's fly back through this. Right, what have we got, Ducky? Come on, United. Oh, you got through. Well done. Well done. United bought their success when they were actually good in the transfer fees. They were paying in the 90s and 2000s was transfer fees down. They'd be spending loads. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying there. I do think that you probably don't want to hear this, but Sir Alex Ferguson was a very good manager and he didn't have no resources. He didn't have massively limited resources or anything like that. But initially when he was at Man United, he didn't have that much to spend. Obviously, the money started flowing in the Premier League era, and yeah, they did comparatively compared to what others were spending. They spent huge amounts. Fabian Barthez he was the most expensive goalkeeper, wasn't he? At that point, so yeah, United spent a huge amount of money. Amaranth revealed she would be supportive of her future daughter doing OnlyFans. I tell you, girls in 15s are all on only that. I mean, that's creepy, Ashwin. That's disgusting. I mean, why would you suggest your daughter would be? Oh no, I don't. I wouldn't even want to think about it. Wouldn't even want to think about it. Right. Oh, we've got the hot take that I've missed from Scraps here. So, Calvin Phillips is better than Declan Rice. No. Nunes is better than Haaland. You've tried that one. No, that's not new. Van Dijk is overrated. He's a very good defender. I don't think he's overrated. He just needs to keep doing it for the next few years, and he'll be considered right up there. Hazard was the best Chelsea player of all time. Franco Zola wants to say hello to that one. Chelsea 2021 UCL team was the worst team to win the Champions League. Probably agreeing Saka is overrated. No, if anything, Saka is still underrated. By supporting, of course, she means encourage. Yeah, this is creepy. Can't be any worse than hers. I've never watched that stream. It's on Twitch keeps trying to suggest it to me, but I see the little preview bit at the top, and I think no, not for me. Too old for that. Uses fake you know what anyways. Yeah, imagine doing actual work for money. Who posts news for the internet? Actually, I would. If I thought I could make money off an OnlyFans, I'd do it. Wouldn't be encouraging my kids to. That's where I draw the line. Well, that went south fast. Yeah, that was interesting. I've got one more. Bamford is better than Mbappe and Haaland combined. I think I'd rather pay 65 for Havertz than 60 for Mount. I mean, yeah, my friend would agree with you there. I can't say I've seen that much about Havertz, so I don't know. All I've seen is Mount and mostly playing for England, and he's uninspiring to say the least. Yeah, it's grim, isn't it, Duck? I don't subscribe or anything, but it's sometimes the most popular on certain bits of the wide web. Can you imagine Havertz at Arsenal as he was at Leverkusen? See, I don't remember Havertz at Leverkusen. I don't know much about Havertz at Leverkusen, so I genuinely wouldn't know. As I've said many times before, I know next to nothing about football. Next to nothing. About Premier League football anyway. I'm a League Two fan. That's where my attention goes. I'm more excited about the chance of Gillingham signing Alfie May from Cheltenham than I am about the idea of Declan Rice going to Arsenal. For me, that's massive. That deal could be worth, depending on which estimates you look at, could be worth up to £500,000, and that is massive for us. I've got another one. Trent will become one of the greatest players if he plays at central midfield at Liverpool. Do you know what? I don't know if that's that controversial. I think there's a lot of people calling for something similar. Worrying that Boskurt is our first choice centre back for this one. Suspensions and injuries haven't helped us there at all. Right, okay, we're going Cristiano and we're going Ruben Oliveira. Cohen. Obviously, that attacking impetus on the left is good. Neves and Keeley. Not seen many goals from Neves recently. Didn't Mount come from Everton? Chelsea, but it's probably Everton quality. Here's my take. City will have more Premier League titles than United in the next 10 years. Yeah. I don't know if we can call that controversial or a hot take. That's just what most of us think. Right, all ads. Sorry. Vitesse and Derby. How can you spend 60 for a player that went to those two clubs? Yeah, I mean, if you see Vitesse as the not the barrier for that, but the bar for that, we'd have to think that would rule out most Chelsea players because all of them have played at Vitesse at some point. Man United will win the Premier League before Liverpool. I mean, if we see anything like the Liverpool of last season, yeah, Gillingham will win the bloody league before Liverpool if they play like they did last season. So why does Sky keep putting John Wilkins in the rugby league games? He's so annoying. I don't know who John Wilkins is, but I'll keep an eye out for him. Gillingham will fuck all. Scraps. League Two is ours. If we get Alfie May in next season, I don't see how anyone looks past us. Cho's injured. Okay. No, he can play. He's fine. Ron in semi. Oh, is that RC Lons? You've got them. You've got that. Well, I don't know what they're like in your Are they deposed PSG in France? Completely biased towards Staines. He'll probably somehow manage to talk about them being great when this game has nothing to do with them. Okay, fair enough. Is Staines Saints by any chance? They're my team. I've adopted them. I've heard I've heard they're the best team, so that's my team. I'm going glory hunting. I might as well in rugby league. I'm not even sure if the London Broncos are a thing, but St Helens, that's mine. Scrapler crap. He does talk a lot of scrap sometimes, bless him. Rap is crap. Rock music and indie rock music is the best music. Absolutely agree. Hard agree. However, I do still love quite a lot of 90s pop. And that's mostly because I grew up in the 90s. Okay, right. 10 players on the bench isn't bad. For a squad of 19. Yeah, they are. Refuse to say their name. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Come on. Yeah, 90s, noughties, and some early 10s indie music is where and that's where I say the peak. Linkin Park, absolute favourites. And Hincapié has just scored against us. We sold him as soon as we turned up. Can't wait to see this nonce put in his place. Oh, yeah. Whoever Marcelo Loureiro is, he's put a target on his back with that one. My new games are coming in tomorrow. What have you got coming in? Big rival in gaming rugby league, so there's going to be hatred for them. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I love the rivalry. That's what I'm here for. Gonna send you something, but don't show it on stream because you can't show it on stream. That's you and Ashwin who have done that to me now. I'm gonna have to queue things up for tonight. But when I get off stream, I'm probably gonna go to bed at 1 a.m. watching all the stuff you guys are sending. I don't see you having a record like me. 25,000 days at a single club is pretty impressive. And a 65% win percentage over all that time. That's damned fine work, sir. Damned fine work. And you're in charge of Albania as well. Are you going to win a World Cup with Albania? Okay. Oh, so you want to see the reaction? Is that what you're after? Ole got stuck as interim United manager for 180 seasons. I saw in was it FM22? Someone did like I think it was Lelujo did like a couple of 200-year, 300-year in the future streams, and I think it was Brentford ended up with a female manager who was interim manager for over 100 years because of a bug in the game with how interim managers worked or something. I know a bug in FM is just a shocker. Why has Staines next two? Probably going to lose that too. Why is Proper in the mud? Well, if me and my Saints team can do you a favour, I'm all for it. There's a reason I'm not number one on the Hall of Fame worldwide. Is that a lack of any of these clubs are rated higher in the Hall of Fame compared to Hong Kong? Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Reputation's got a big part to play in how many points you get for that. We've gone 2-1 down in the first 15 minutes. We've had 2 shots on goal and it's 2 goals. Marichal needs to take a long, hard look at himself. Yeah, I've even got a modern pop song in here, Ashwin. See, I'm with the times. I'm down with the kids. So where are you so far in the old Hall of Fame, Duck? It's always your yeah, just like the last one. It's always yeah, like that. I like that. Right, we need to sort this nonsense out. Right, I'm going to thrash some arms. These slot need to turn this around and quickly. Are Porto playing a stupid 4-4-2? Is that the problem? No. Okay, Boskirk just isn't up for this. I don't really have any other options at right back, though. Sorry. Could put Kirkes out there. He's at least got a bit more experience. We'll do that. Still 7K points behind him. I'm on 11K. You've got Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and Tales of Fantasia. Nice. How old are Final Fantasy 1 and 2? How far does that go back? So now they're not annual releases, are they? So 16, it won't necessarily equate to 16 years, will it? I remember Final Fantasy like 7 being around when I was much younger. Was Margraf offside there? I think he might have been. 1987. Oh god. Why did you have to add that last line, Ashwin? I wasn't even born. I was. Okay, I was. I was 3. I was only 3, but I was born. And I worry that I'm probably going to be the only person in chat on the stream who was. Yeah, gotta love a bit of Oasis. I remember the first album I got. Well, actually, no, I borrowed it off a friend, and we sat round my house in my bedroom listening to it. We're like, wow, this is amazing stuff. I've not had that feeling about music for years. And I know that's just made me sound even older, but I don't care. It's true. Tales of is from 1995. Oh, that's a modern game then. Fuck me, you're old. Yeah, thanks, Scrap. Yeah, you are, mate. I wasn't even alive in the 90s either. Oh my god. You're 16. You shouldn't even be awake now, so hush. Yeah, don't mess with me or Ashwin will get you. Oh my god. I might dye my hair grey just for the next one. Might as well look as old as I feel. Let's get Lethan on for the last 15 minutes or so. 2 all away isn't bad. We've absolutely dominated this game. I don't know. Don't know how Porto are winning. Marichal's had a stinker. I'll fight him outside Aldi. I thought we decided it was Lidl on the last stream. I'm going to call you Grey Win if you go grey. Look, thankfully, you can't see it, but if I let my hair grow long enough, there's definitely grey streaks on the sides. I mean, they're not streaks. They are a few random hairs, but they get more and more noticeable the longer it gets. At least we got to see great music, not the crap music nowadays. You, not me. Oh, great. Relentless, thank you very much for the raid. How was your stream? And welcome raiders. Let's catch you up on how we're doing. We're going to go for the save command in the chat there. Unemployed start. We went via Sweden and Scotland, winning various lower trophies and Scottish Cups before we arrived at Hertha, where we are mounting a very serious title challenge. We're ahead of Bayern with 9 games to go. We're in the last 16 of the Champions League. We're turning into a hell of a club here. Rainman Bryn, how are you doing? Yeah, we're doing great. We've recovered after losing our 41 match league unbeaten streak. Sorry, 41 league match unbeaten streak in the last stream. But this time, well, we're smashing it again. Back to normal service has been resumed. Yeah, we lost it to Schalke of all teams. They had 1 shot on target, 1 goal. That's it. 41 matches of work just undone. But as you can see, we are on for a record points haul, which was our own record. Before we joined Hertha, their record was 55 points in the Bundesliga. We got them 68 last season, and we're already on 66 with 9 games to go. We've turned Hertha into a real force to be reckoned with. But how was your stream, Relentless? How's your save going? For a sec, I thought you'd said, imagine licking Nicki Minaj then. Freaking TL Takashi 16. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I a quick glance, that definitely looked a bit suspect there, Duck. Honestly, even the rap from the 90s or something's better than the crap now. It's just shite. Unless you've experienced Vanilla Ice firsthand, I'm not sure you can say that. I've just started a journeyman career too. Got the LAFC job. Played 3-1, 1-1, drew 1, lost 1. I mean, it's a decent start. You're on the right path there. What's the expectations this season? Are you winning the league, winning the? I mean, it's a playoff system over there, isn't it? What it was. I'm still stuck in the idea of MLS having overtime. Yep, I like a few songs from these days. To be fair, I might be old, but I'm still open to music these days. I'm still open to all different types. Hence why I even had some Harry Styles earlier. Drill my ears off. Yeah, with you on that one. Yeah, finished top half really when I took over the Finnish rock bottom. I mean, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, 4 points from 3 matches, not a bad start at all if that's your aim. The only Vanilla Ice I know is of the deceased vampire variety. It's one of those references I don't get, Duck. Is this going to be anime related or something like that? I never did, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z. I never got into like Japanese culture when I was a kid. And what's your thoughts on this? I've been seeing something that say that Saudi Pro League will be an elite league soon. Honestly, it'll go the way of the Chinese league. Eventually, that money will run out. They won't be able to spend it all. I bet you your daughter put in the Harry Styles song. No, that was all me. That was all me. If it was my daughter, it would be. Oh gosh, It's a Lady Gaga one. I should know this off the top of my head. And the Miley Cyrus Flowers. That they would be her songs. eventually win the league, but definitely going to be a good one. Yes, I do love saves that take you out of your comfort zone. They take you to different places. Now, Watermelon Sugar High, that was all me. That was all me, baby. Well, it's the Wednesday one. You know the one I mean. That's Theo of Riley. Thank you very much. My wife popping in there with a bit of help. Miley's Flowers is actually good. I like it. I do like it. Next one coming up, though, I absolutely love. And if you've not heard of Jerry Cinnamon, I recommend going and looking him up and listening to a few songs right now. See, there is some good modern music out there. You've got to know where to find it. I'm disappointed, Mr. Adwin. Oh, what have I done, Warrior? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Bigger kids made me do it. It's in my list too. There we go. Quick, everyone behave. Yeah, the wife's on duty. I've got to play nice now. Behave. Tell that to Scraps, a 16-year-old. Yeah, he's gone quiet. I'm worried. What's he up to? Have we got another football hot take post coming up? Listening to Pissing Harry Styles. Look, sometimes they just get you. There's a catchy song and you can't avoid it. I even liked the one with what's his name? No, see, can tell how old I am. I can't remember people's names. Even with my kids, I have to have like 2 or 3 attempts at getting the right one. Justin Bieber. There's a couple of his I don't mind. Despacito I quite liked. And I can't remember who he did it with, but it was the one called Stay. His mum came in that he had to sleep. Yeah, probably. Oh, he was up late on Tuesday night. He was really up late on Tuesday night. I even had to tell him to go to bed. Didn't listen to me. Why would he? He's a teenager. And I'm an old man. Right, Simon Hardy, and let's get Cho up front. We should have rested some players. Actually, no. Do you know what? We will give Lewis Silva another start. He can have another chance. This name made me laugh. Okay, what do you got? Relentless. Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. I'll pop one back for you as well. We little guys got to stick together, haven't we? Oh, what do we do? There we go. Well, we're going to do it on stream then. I say, little guys, look at you. 100 followers already. Well done. All right. So here we are. Inigo Sucunza. Yes. Not quite as good as Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And I'm going to be the only one who gets that reference as well, aren't I? Princess Bride for anyone else. You're far gone if you like Despacito. I was trying to do it on my phone, but it died. Oh, no, fair enough, mate. Am I following your Twitch? I don't know if I am, Scraps. And isn't it time for bed for you? Look, you've got school tomorrow, haven't you? No, I am following you now, though. Do you stream often? Right, I am going to try and focus on a bit of Football Manager, just a little bit. One reason to follow you, Scraps. As in, do you have a reason? Right, let's... Everyone's exhausted. I'm going to have to rest everyone for the next game, I think. And no, let's do Cho. There we go. All right, subs are going to be important for this one. Look, my sleep should not concern you. I don't know, it's like paternal instincts or something, I think, Scraps. Adam gets it, yeah. Mr. Adwin, Blur or Oasis? See, I toe a controversial line on this one, Warrior. And Mr. Adwin, please not Mr. Adwin. That makes me feel even older. So yeah, my controversial line on this one is both. I never bought into you must be in one camp or the other. I loved Blur and I loved Oasis. But Linkin Park is absolutely top, mate. Linkin Park beats them both. What else do I call you? Just Adwin, just Adwin. Mr. Adwin is my father. Well, it's not, obviously, because it's a gamer tag. He's obviously not called Mr. Adwin, but you get what I mean. You're far gone. Nothing to help cheer you up. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. I reckon you'll have a more successful season than you expect, Scraps. I know you've got yourselves got Leeds predicted for what, mid-table 13th, didn't you say on Tuesday? I think you'll be playoffs. That'll cheer you up. Mr. Adwin makes you sound professional. Yeah, anyone who's watched the stream for any length of time knows I'm anything but professional. Can't tell whether you're posh or not yet. Yeah, great. Yeah, we solved this one on Tuesday. So grew up in a council house. Dad was a train driver. Didn't have money. But I ended up. Turns out I was fairly smart, or fairly academically suited, and ended up at grammar school. So mixed with an awful lot of upper middle class kids. So yeah, my accent's a bit of a weird one. Like a lot of people from southeast London, I forget my T's very often, but occasionally I remember myself and try to add them back in. So yeah, I wouldn't try and figure it out. It'll drift in and out. And when I'm talking to people from southeast, from talking to my friends, I tend to get more common as I go on, especially after a few beers. Imagine being a Swindon fan. Yeah, that would be awful. Especially having a dozen fingers, that would be quite worrying. Oh God! Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying that you thought you were going to finish 13th in the championship. Yeah, I definitely expected Leeds to be further up the table than they ended up, and we are not doing particularly well here. We're going to go attacking. Well, if we score here, I'm going to might change my mind. We've scored here. It's Oliveira again. It's my big 6'4" Portuguese boy. He's a great person. Yeah, yeah. Fourth, I reckon is probably fair. Leicester, I reckon, are going to struggle this year or this season. They are going to. But they've already sold Madison, haven't they? He's gone to Spurs, poor fella. I suppose Premier League's Premier League, but you'd think Crystal Palace would have thrown him for him. He'd have been happy with that, I'm sure. Middle class, that makes sense. You sound posh and London geezer at the same time. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself to be middle class. I'd consider myself to be working class. I've just had undue influences on me. I like that London geezer. I'm a geezer, innit? I fucking hate Spurs. Everyone hates Spurs. Even Spurs hate Spurs. That's our national pastime, I think. Hating Spurs. That's got to be a penalty. Go on, give it, ref. Give it. In a geezer accent. All right, pal, how are you doing? All right, pal. How are you doing? How's that? I don't think I'm going to be auditioning for EastEnders anytime soon. Right, we have got ads coming up after the game. I'll make sure I snooze them so you don't miss anything. We've run out of centre backs, so let's put Keeley on there. Who else am I trying to save? Chrysostom is also going to be tired, but he's just going to have to stay out the match, I think. Richter's too small for me to consider him a centre back. 5'11". He's not fast enough to be a cover defender, so no. Hardy for Door. Actually, no, Hardy's not played too many. He should be fit. Let's do. Right, now we'll just hold off actually. Let's see who else hires quickly. Get out of pub, Phil Mitchell. Get out of my pub, Phil Mitchell. Okay, I'm going to watch The Witcher. Cheers, Ashwin. Thanks for your company tonight, mate. I'll speak to you. I'll probably speak to you later tonight, to be honest with you. Is that the Witcher series, by the way? Because we've watched season 1 and season 2. Season 2's been out, hasn't it? Am I making that up? Pretty sure we're up to date anyway. Yeah, have a good one, mate. Go and chill. You can't give a penalty for that, ref. Did you not see the ball fly back across the pitch? You obviously got the ball. Yeah, probably, yeah, Series 3 came out and said, oh, he did it. I didn't know that. Right, that one will have to go on the watch list. Phil Mitchell say that, to be fair. I don't watch EastEnders. I'm not 70. Neither am I. I don't watch EastEnders. When I first met my wife, she did, and then after a few years, she realised she didn't care. I think she just did it because her mum watched it or something. It's just habit, isn't it? You pick it up from your parents. I don't think does anyone watch EastEnders anymore who's not retired. Emmerdale Farm used to be the one. My mum used to watch them all. Coronation Street, Emmerdale Farm, EastEnders. I was more of the Hollyoaks crowd. Coronation Street is better anyway. I say that, and I've not watched it in years. It probably still is. EastEnders was always junk, wasn't it? Right, lots of tired legs out there now. Diamande can come off for Margraf. Hardy for Door, that's fine. We'll leave Lewis Silver up top, I think. Let him see this one out. Do we bring off Chrysostomo and stick Richter at the back? Let's hope he doesn't cock this up. That's all I can say. I don't see how he would, but Hollyoaks is the worst one of them all. Yeah, but Hollyoaks had more people you like to look at. That was the only plus side about Hollyoaks. The only soap I know of is when I'm in the shower. And long may it stay that way, Duck, because God knows no one else wants it. Emmerdale is full of people from Yorkshire, so it's hard to watch. I tended to find it more comical just because of the accent. Who's the family that lived on the farm? Was it the Dingles? For a long time, I thought they were representative of people from Yorkshire. Right, we've got one more sub. I mean, they all want to come off. They're all absolutely cream crackered. Let's do Burkholt for Letham. Ah, Scraps, I've just seen what you've sent me. Too disgusting to show on screen, on stream. Well played, sir. Well played. It's just the worst version of the Lancashire accent. Now, I got in trouble for saying this a few weeks ago, but there are similarities between Lankies and Yorkies in terms of accent. It's more phrases or pronunciation of certain words. There are similarities. As a southerner, it takes me a few. It sometimes take me a few lines, a few sentences before I can tell the two apart. The Dingles, aka Burnley fans, as Blackburn call them. Yeah, Burnley's a place. No, no, not a chance. Okay, see, same reaction I got last time. Okay, good win. Lewis Silva had a horrible game. I think I might be trying. Hopefully, Adeyemi comes back because obviously Lewis Silva is not ready for first team football in the Bundesliga. He will be soon, but it's too early for him yet. I refuse to accept my accent is similar to them lot in Yorkshire, and I bet that is that's the objection, isn't it? That is definitely the objection, and that's fair enough. That is fair enough. But I put it to you that you would struggle to tell the difference between an accent from Southeast London and an accent from Medway, because there is a difference. You can hear it when you're from the area. But I put it to you as a Wigan boy, as a Lanky, you'd struggle to tell the difference. There's no shame in it because unless you're from here, you wouldn't. All right, we are going to run some ads now, so do stick with us. And if you're lucky enough that these aren't full screen ads, then hi, we're still here. I'm probably gonna have to wait until the ads are over. If you're tired, Scraps, get some sleep, mate. Did you see that I did eventually remember to open your Twitter message? You got me again. Too early. No, it's never too early. You know, yeah, the pandemic stuffed my sleep cycle up. I used to go to bed a lot earlier, 10, half 10. Then, yeah, I didn't need to get up as early anymore. My whole my whole working pattern at the hospital changed. I was working, staying later because I was volunteering on the wards. Oh, I got Bayern Munich. Wow. I'd have rather have had that in the final, but we'll just have to do it the hard way. But yeah, no, it's stuffed my sleep schedule up, and now I can't. I struggle to sleep before 11, half 11. I was doing something, but it was a whole picture. It was not a whole picture. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing, and you got me good. Not as good as the Rick roll, but you got me good. I definitely went into that with a bit of tentativeness. Okay, ads should be over for everyone by now, hopefully. So welcome back, everyone. And Warrior, give us a shout if you're here. Well, we'll talk about Medway. Right, Akani is back in. No worries, Scraps. Olivier is shattered. Chris Osterbu shattered. They're all shattered. I didn't rest them again. Why is no one reminding me to rest these players? Neves and Keeley. Because you two did get rested for the last one. Burkholt managed to sit it out. for the most part. Give Diamande a run out. Door and Cho can come back in for this one. Mr. Adwin, I'm back now. Had to do something. Sorry about that. No, look, when the ads are playing, that's the time to go and do it. I don't want you actually buying the stuff. I am addicted to the 25 cents or whatever it is I earn per stream for the ads that I play. So I am going to keep doing it. No apologies for it. Who knows? One day I might even actually earn some real money if I ever get double figures viewers. Who knows? But even if I don't, I still enjoy doing this anyway. I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Medway. So Medway is it's a recycling bins in the Garden of Kent, really. Medway is where Gillingham is. And let's see if we can get you a map. There we go. So this is the Medway area in Kent. And this, in the centre, is the beautiful jewel of Medway, Gillingham, where the single greatest football team from Kent resides. So yeah, southeast London, which is up here, and Kent, Medway, Kent, which is here. There are different accents. I was getting an Amazon advert, and it's some guy in a purple suit reading a book. Yeah, someone else has said that to me. They get the purple suit guy. I can't say. Well, I think I remember it, but I struggle. I'm back and starving. I might order myself a Mackey's. Oh, that's late. I don't know if I can eat that late at night. Remember not to show us where you live. No, I've given you a really vague idea. Somewhere over in that, big old portion of southeast London. I've got a mate from Kent who moved up to wonderful Wigan. We don't often get many of those. So what was it? Work or family? Or love, I suppose. All right, Scraps, enjoy it, mate. Probably, if I eat this late at night, that's heartburn. I'm not sleeping. I get indigestion. Because I'm an old man, yes. I'll get in there first before anyone else does. Everyone just took the piss out of his accent, yeah. Did everyone call him Cockney? Even though Cockney is really restricted to certain parts of East London. Moved up in 2016. Do you know what I do tend to find as well, southern people adopt other accents quite quickly. I mean, it might just be me and how I see it. We are currently in the 2031-32 season. Relentless. We've done the tour. We've done the tour of Northern Europe. Well, I say the tour. We did 2 Swedish teams. We did 2 Scottish teams. And that took us about 10 years. What 7-8 years to get to Hertha. We've not done too bad. Yeah, everyone calls him a Cockney. I thought they might get that new double Big Mac. I ordered a double Big Mac with bacon, and they didn't give me the bacon. I was really quite annoyed by that. And we are not going to get through easily in this one, are we? Porto. Every time I think we're getting ahead, Porto will peg us back. But in the first leg, they were the ones going ahead. All right. I may have overestimated where we are in terms of the Champions League. I think the fact that we are so far ahead, or the fact we are ahead full stop in the Bundesliga, has given me a bit too much confidence about how we're going to do in the Champions League. 13-13. Unlucky numbers there, mate. Relentless, how far in your save are you with LAFC? You said they finished rock bottom the previous season. Have you been out and about? Or have you just started? Go on, Cho. Oh, come on, mate. You need to start scoring goals. You're in college, don't have a job yet. Oh, best time. The best time, that is. So I've said before I didn't like school. Being the working class kid in the grammar school, but definitely felt a bit odd one out. So yeah, I struggled at school making friends and whatnot. I did have friends, I didn't wasn't entirely alone, but didn't make many friends. But I miss not having the responsibility that you get when you're an adult. It's very difficult, I think, when you're at that age to appreciate it. But genuinely, not having that responsibility is a great thing. Going to be at 11:30. I'm getting indigestion for you, Scraps. Made it fresh at 7:30 went on a holiday until 10th October, then applied for jobs. So in the 22-23 season. You're right at that. You're right at that good bit then, right at the very start. The best thing I think about the like the journeyman save, the unemployed save, is that if you can load up enough leagues, if your PC can take it, you are going to end up on quite a varied path. I tend to find, and I love that. Oh no 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 no! Well, let's hold on to this lead. I'm not going defensive. I refuse to. FM22 absolutely destroyed defensive football for me. You could not defend. Need to go outside so the driver doesn't knock on the door and wake my mum up. Okay, I don't miss that sort of stuff. Having to yeah, do that kind of thing. I remember getting pizzas ordered when I was 16, 17, and yeah, doing something very similar. Like you'd just be waiting at the window for the delivery man to come up the road. Just saying I was in college, not work, because you asked if I knew him from work. Oh no, I get that. No, I did get that. Don't worry. It did take me a moment to connect the dots there, though, Warrior. It really did. But no, I got that. Restart the career, but I'm playing it on PlayStation. I don't think my 2005 PC can cope with it. What's the console version like? I remember playing, and I think it was possibly FM MO3 maybe on the Xbox. Maybe it was '07. I can't remember. It was on the Xbox 360. So whenever that time period was. That was quick. Yeah, it is quick. Do you live do you live next door to the McDonald's then? Yeah, that is definitely my favourite thing about the unemployed start. You could end up just about anywhere. Yeah, probably should have made that more clear. No, look, it's just my my old man brain. It's adult, and you notice how I can't seem to speak properly right now, because it's because I'm so tired because it's late at night for me. That and I've been up since 5 o'clock. So yeah, I will probably finish up in the next 10 minutes or so. We do tend to go to 11 on a Tuesday and Thursday, but we do a late night one on Saturdays that runs usually from about 9:30 to 1:30. If I'm not accosted in the pub, which doesn't happen that often. Since I've started streaming, seems to have happened more often than it normally does, and I'm pausing because I continually forget to pause. Um, let's do João Neves. I'll swap those two over, and we'll go again. It's a 5 minute walk. Oh, there you go then. That's why it's so quick, mate. It's really dumbed down the current tactic. I use it on my laptop, but slowly working on PlayStation. Yes, I do wonder whether there are going to be difference tactically like AI wise between PlayStation and PC. Yeah, Scraps, go get your. I mean, what do we call this at this time of night? Supper. You enjoy, right? We've got some drama going on here, guys. 3-2 to us. Porto. They're not making this easy for us, are they? They've been better in this match than I think they were in their home leg. I don't know if the nerves are getting to us a bit. I'm loath to waste time now. Okay, no, that's decided that let's waste time. Let's try and take as much out of this game as we possibly can. We're getting close to throwing this away. I've got to be up early too with college, but I've got a new nickname now. So I've been called Tom Cruise a lot. Is that purely because of the sunglasses, or are you trying to humble brag there that you look like Tom Cruise? Do you call it supper down south? No, and I don't even know why I came out with that word. It was just it's not dinner. It's too late for dinner. And so we're trying to come up with another word for dinner that I don't really use, and supper was the word I came up with. When I was younger, it was always tea. Dinner was the midday meal, and tea was your evening meal. But at some point, that changed, that morphed, and dinner became my evening meal. I couldn't tell you when it happened, it just happened. Right, let's waste some time with a couple of subs. Simon Hardy and Oliveira. Big guy. Can deal with the long balls forward that I'm sure they're pumping into our box. Look who's back with my Mackies. It's a happy Scraps. And ladies and gentlemen, we have made it through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League with Hertha. We are bloody massive. Food is warm as fuck. I mean, to be honest with you, Scraps, that is probably the only description you can give of McDonald's food. It's never hot. It can be warm, and it can be almost aggressively warm, but it can only ever be warm, or it's cold. But it's never hot. Well, that's interesting, Warrior, because yeah, that's what it used to be when I was a kid. And I remember someone commenting to me. I think it was like probably a family friend saying, "Oh, that's what they call it up north. Dinner and tea as opposed to lunch and dinner." But in our household, it was always posh people who called it lunch. If you called it lunch, you were posh. Okay, let's see what we've got in our new intake. Oh, we do have a decent youth intake every year, don't we? I mean, the development centre doesn't do us justice here, because if you look at some of the players we've got out on loan, we've got some real quality out there. Even in the first team, we've got some decent quality out there on loan. Senkbile, he'll come back and he'll be our second choice keeper next season, and eventually we'll take over from Marichal. Bugaliu, all the potential in the world. You got Kurt Meyer, Arda Bush, and even in the under-19s, I think we've got some 5-star potential players out on loan, including Eric Hartman. And our youth candidates are also looking pretty special already. Scraps, brilliant, mate. Go and get some sleep. It's been a pleasure. We're going to finish up, I think. Let's get before the Stuttgart game, and then we'll finish up. Because I'm an old man and I'm looking for my bed. Lunch is just the posh version. It is. It always has been. Maybe I am middle class now then if I call it lunch. But I think I probably picked that up in secondary school. What days do I stream on? So I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. I do have the schedule on my page somewhere on Twitch. I swear it's on there, isn't it? But yeah, Tuesday, Thursdays, Saturdays. Occasionally we'll swap them around. Yeah, life. I work full time. Sometimes you just can't make it all work together. And occasionally, as Scraps will tell you, I miss the odd stream entirely because, well, Saturday night I didn't stream because I was in the pub. I went to the pub for Royal Ascot just to put a few quid on the horses, have a couple of beers, and then got accosted by my brother as I left. So I ended up staying in the pub most of the night. You better fucking stream on Saturday. You made me depressed, you bastard. Yeah, I don't want you crying in the shower again, Scraps. I'll be here Saturday. No matter what, I'll say no to everything. You alcoholic. Yeah, do you know what? My kids seem to think I'm an alcoholic as well. Because a lot of my Father's Day presents were related to alcohol. I don't know if you're familiar with rugby league players, but I was getting on the bus the other day and I saw Junior and Simba, and he's like a fucking giant. I'm tall, but he's like a giant compared to me. I don't know many rugby league players. I know the Tompkins brothers, which is about all I've got. And I know one of them's called Sam, and that's it. But I promise I am trying to get into rugby league. It's just, trying to find some time to sit and watch it. I'm not even yours. I'm already saying you're an alcoholic. Yeah. Yeah, despite the fact I will have quite happily like 12 cups of tea in a day, if you ask my kids what I like to drink most, they will say beer. They will say beer. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Duck. Appreciate that. I do try. I mean, I don't try. I just sit here and I waffle on to you guys, and occasionally I pay attention to what I'm meant to be doing on the computer here. So I have fun having a chat. But I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and you're always welcome. You know that, and always more than happy to share the exploits that you've got going on in, or whatever league, whatever season you're in. So whether it's 2020, 22-17 with Severe, or your Hong Kong save. I always love seeing your weird and wonderful tactics. Your 5-5-0, that in particular is something special. And it makes my skin crawl, but it is special. I'll have a quiz for Saturday and you better stream. Okay, I will. I absolutely will, Scraps. You can hold me to that. Shit stream as always. There we go. That's brought me back down to earth. And if you're a Staines fan, I don't know whether it's to say it's a great stream. You're under no pressure one way or the other. Right, shall we find someone to go and raid? Let's see if there's anyone that's still playing FM at the moment. Right, we could go and raid Scoops, who is a fellow Gillingham fan, which is obviously the reason you're all here. Or do we fancy Northern Pilgrim? Let's go and see Jamie over at Northern Pilgrim, shall we? I'll post in PMD's Discord how to do UCL. Yes, yeah, do let me know. I'm looking forward to that. Right, so let's go and set up our raid. We're going to go and raid Northern Pilgrim. Let's go and share a bit of love. Let's go and show the man some love. And well, it's been an absolute pleasure, as it always has been. I hope to see as many as you back for Saturday night stream as possible. Scraps will be there with a quiz, and if I'm feeling in the mood, I might even crack open a couple of beers. So come join us Saturday night, 9:30. We'll go through to 1:30 a.m. And yeah, thanks for all the new follows. Relentless, thank you very much for the raid. Thank you for the follow. Warrior, thank you very much for the follow. And most of all, Scraps, thank you incredibly for that prime, for that sub. That's amazing. No one's under any obligation to spend any money with me, but I always appreciate it when you do. So thanks very much, guys. And I'll see you on Saturday night.